go. What's going on, family? It is your boy JT, the Corporatepreneur, and you are now listening to the Corporatepreneur podcast. And as always, man, I got another giant on the show today. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. All right, I got the V Doctor in the house. Okay, so yeah, and the V stands for what you think it is. We talking about the vagina, the vajayjay, okay, the WAP. We talking about all of that and plus business today. So without further ado, it's an honor for me to introduce, okay, the guest here today, Miss LaTanya Morris. All right, let's go ahead and give her a round of applause. Awesome. So with that said, LaTanya, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, the name V Doctor, you know, what you do.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's such an honor. I'm so glad to be here. And so, of course, like you said, my name's LaTanya. I am the founder of the V Doctor. So what I do is educate women on their feminine hygiene and health of their vagina, how to keep it nice, fresh, clean, smelling good, looking good, and ready for any downtown action. So I started that business during the pandemic. That's about a year ago. Okay. So my baby was born August 1st.
August 1st? Okay.
August 1st.
Awesome.
Yep. So we're just over a year in, recently celebrated my 1 year anniversary.
Awesome. Clap it up for that. Hey. Okay, so you said a lot there, right? So before we get into this, so let me tell you how I met her here. So for those of you who know, or some of you don't know, I'm a drug dealer by day, all right? And I was working for this company called GSK at the time. I was promoting inhalers for asthma and COPD patients. And if you guys know anything about, you know, working in corporate America, or even in like pharmaceutical sales, there's not many of us like around in these roles and positions. So whenever you see, you know, black folks, it's like, you know, you always want to connect, you always want to show love. And I met her in one of my doctor's offices, you know, so I come in there, man, I see like my first black physician, you know, like ever, you know, like here on the South Side. And I'm like, yo, like this is dope, man. I see us, we out here as black people, black excellence. And I just was like, man, I always wanted to connect with her in some capacity. So, you know, even when I came in, you always show love on the lunches.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
always about good food. So
yeah,
of course.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, come back and talk to us when we brought the food and stuff. Yes. And I always, I had remembered that. So it's just kind of cool just to reconnect in this different arena.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'll tell you a little bit more. So how we even connected in this arena. All right. So let me tell you this story. And then it's going to be about her. But I just want to tee this up like how, you know, we just connected. So then one day I'm on Instagram. I'm scrolling away, you know, doing my thing, just wasting screen time. We all do it, right? Mm-hmm. And I had seen Fly Tatted Sky from Black Ink, right? The girl from Black Ink, she got all the tattoos and stuff like that. I seen her do a commercial for this product, right? Like, and then she was like, oh, you know, these Vagina Doctor products or whatever. And I seen her face on there. Right? And so I'm like, wait a minute, like what? Like what did I just see? This lady looked mad familiar. I'm trying to figure out like where I remember her from. This V Doctor stuff, this lady looked familiar. And so I'm like, man, that was just like a dope ass. So then like I hit you in the DM and I'm like, man, yo, like, are you a doctor like on the South Side, like in the Chicagoland area? Like, man, you look mad familiar. And she was like, yeah, you know what, it's me, you know, I got this product and everything. And I'm just like, man, yo, this is like super dope. And it was super dope because one, like, that was a major influencer, you know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, but anyway, that's enough about me. That's a little bit about how I kind of, you know, met this phenomenal woman, you know, working in corporate America, being a drug dealer, and then, you know, also seeing her product and her brand outside of that. So it was only right that we get her on to the show. So, awesome. Getting into you now, right? You're right. Okay, getting into you. So tell us a little bit more about how, like, the V Doctor was born, right? Like how did this come up? I know you talked about the pandemic, right? But what led you to pursuing entrepreneurship in some capacity while still being a physician?
Absolutely. I've always had a heart for entrepreneurship. That's always been instilled in me before my career. So I've always had something on the side. You know, okay. Everything don't always work out though. You invest a lot of money and things just keep falling by the wayside, but you just keep moving. Okay. So with that being said, during the pandemic, when I was forced to sit away from my job, I was furloughed because we told you all to stay away from the ER, stay away from your doctors. If you didn't have to come in, don't come in unless you was dying. And I mean, y'all did that, okay? Y'all didn't come in, which put a sister out of work.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
So we didn't have a whole lot of traffic in the emergency rooms, which is where I was working at the time. So I was sitting at home for 3 months during the pandemic. And that's when I came up with the idea that I'm gonna start a product line. Because what I do know is working in my field of medicine, especially in emergency care, we would get women coming in all the time. And it's like, so you have a yeast infection. You're in the ER.
Wow.
So I knew it was like some missing link between why you're here for a $400 bill for something you could have treated at home. And so that's what my goal was, education and giving people a safe, effective way to treat these things at home and to take care of themselves at home, because we were forced to sit at home.
Yeah. And so even in that snippet right there, I think it's so important. Like, that's why even this whole idea where I talk about being a corporatepreneur, right? You know, working a 9 to 5 and still having something, you know, on the side, or if you can go full into entrepreneurship, if that's your desire as well, right? We have people who've done that as well, who've come on the show. But you just need a stream of income that you can control, because somebody any day can come in and say, hey, you're done. We're cutting back. We're making changes. And then what you're supposed to do,
That
you know,
part.
right?
That part. Exactly.
And, you know, and then they told you that you get a degree, you get a job or whatever, and like you're safe. You are a physician, okay? You know what I'm saying? And right. So, and even you still found yourself figuring out, hey man, you know, like what can I do to provide? So that was one key thing. And then also other people listening in, right? We talk about business. A lot of people that want to start businesses, you don't know what type of business to start. I'm just here to tell you it's right in front of your nose. If you're listening to her, she was like, yo, like, I was seeing people come into the ER, they had yeast infections, like, you know what I'm saying? Or that was a question that they always asked for, you know what I'm saying? So it just was like, man, there's a market for this, you know, find a need and effectively address that need. And that's, you know, we got the V doctor here.
Absolutely.
So that was like a little bit of the behind the scenes. Now, before we go further, talk to me a little bit about, you mentioned you had your hand in other endeavors, okay? Yes. So what were some of the other endeavors that you did before you came into, all right, I'm the V doctor, I got the product, you know what I'm saying? Like what was, like, tell me the failure, the mistakes, you know, all of that.
Absolutely. Well, actually, I was doing multi-level marketing.
Okay, hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, MLM, that's what I was doing.
For who? Like, what did you have? Like, what?
I actually went through a couple of companies.
Okay,
so, you know.
Let's hear. I did Primerica, that's okay, go ahead.
I did Primerica.
You did, see?
Hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's
you know, way back many centuries ago, like, you know, 5 links.
5 links. I remember 5 links. Yeah.
You know, Cutco knives.
Okay, the knife. Yeah.
The knives. That was. See, I had started this a long time ago. That's what I was telling people.
Yeah.
And then my very last thing was World Ventures. I don't know if y'all know about World Ventures.
You should be here.
You should be.
You see, we know. We know.
You know, that was my last thing.
Yeah.
But you know, COVID definitely put a halter on that with the travel thing. So
yeah.
That's the last thing I was into before I said I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, and that's interesting you say that. So one thing, so if you're watching this video, okay, now I know we just name dropped for a wide variety of other companies and stuff like that. I mean, you do your own due diligence, you do your own research if that's something you want to get into. But me personally, if you have no business experience at all, I would recommend you doing an MLM first, because man, it's just the mindset, the motivation that you get being around those people, being able to push through no's, understanding how business works, the goal of, you know, building something, having a system work for you, you not being in the system. Like, that's what MLMs teach you. And I think that's a key lesson that a lot of entrepreneurs miss out on, you know, because they're always in their business, right? They're stuck in it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just putting that out there. So if you watching this, you haven't cut your teeth yet, like, man, join an MLM, go ahead, get some entrepreneurial experience.
Absolutely. And I'm still doing it. So World Ventures has converted to Secret. We've merged with another company, so now we're Secret, and I'm still doing it. Still doing it. And it's funny because, you know, all those little friends you're trying to pull in that don't join,
right?
Cool. Of course, they're like, oh, you know, how your little MLM thing doing? But what you just said was so key. I learned how to do my own business from what I was taught during the MLM. So V Doctor took off, not by way of me and my own knowledge, but everything that was instilled in me when I was doing MLM. And for that, I'm grateful. If I didn't take anything else, if I didn't make $1 million with that company, it don't matter. I made $1 million with another one.
Boom.
That part.
dropped a bomb on them one time. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
So, okay. So that's awesome, right? So you had the MLM experience. Okay, that kind of led you. You took those skills, and then you took off with the V Doctor. All right. So now talk to me a little bit about this product line that you have. Okay, the V Doctor product line. How did you know like that? You know, the recipes, the concoctions. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I see on the Instagram page, it's it's vegan, no parabens, no toxins, no sulfates, none of that stuff. So how did you know that like, hey, honey and sugar and like watermelon would like cleanse of a JJ? Like, how do you it's like?
So it was a whole lot of research behind that. Honestly, some of the products are already created. You just got to work with some of the manufacturing companies with that. So that's what I did. And then every ingredient that was there or that they had available, I researched. I made sure this was good. It was what I wanted. And we just put that together. So it was really me working with other people.
Okay.
Now, I did create some of my own solutions. I have my own product that strictly came from me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I have some other products that are other companies that I work with.
Awesome. Okay. So you got a wide mix of things.
But it was really a lot of research. Look, Google it. I'm telling you, Google and YouTube, your best friend.
Okay. Absolutely. So Google, YouTube.
Google and YouTube. That's where my concoctions came from. 3 o'clock in the morning nights when I couldn't sleep. So I'm like, let me do some research on some things. How to make this or how to do that. Do it yourself stuff.
Absolutely. All right. So Google University. So you reached out to some people. So this is like what manufacturers and whatnot. Like,
yes.
Okay. So manufacturers.
Companies that are already making it. You know what I mean? And they will help you.
Okay, so that's a bar right there. All right, so even for her, she didn't completely go from scratch, right? So there are manufacturers, there are companies who are making products. I know me and one of my buddies, we were working on like a beard product at one time, and there's a manufacturer that was going to make it for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, almost white label,
Yeah.
But so you do have options out there in the marketplace. If you have an idea for a product, they can make it for you. And you can put it out there into the marketplace. You don't have to do everything from scratch. It's not as intimidating as it may sound. So with that, so talk to me. All right, so we talked about, you did some research. So let's regroup a little bit. All right, so you in the ER, yeast infections. You found a need, effectively addressed the need. Okay, with the V Doctor products. Now, how did you come about with the products? You did some research and figuring out, which ingredients or which things can, help different vaginal ailments, issues, right?
What companies had it? Bam, hitting those companies up.
Okay, yeah, what companies had it, hitting those companies up. And now talk to me a little bit about like the operation of like launching or bringing this to the market. Like, so I understand your e-commerce, right?
Yes.
So everything is all online. Now, why e-commerce instead of like selling it out your trunk or, brick and mortar store? Like, what made you go the e-commerce route? And if somebody's listening, they're like, man, I have a product, I want to get it set up, to be an e-commerce store. Like, how did you go about doing that? Like what does that process look like?
Absolutely. I mean, you need a product and you don't need a whole lot. I suggest starting with 3 if you want to do a store. Keep it simple. You don't want to give people too many options because you don't want to confuse them. Then you get your website set up. And there's people that do websites all over the place. You ain't got to pay thousands of dollars for a website. A couple $100 because you want a really simple website. You put too much info on there and it's just, again, going to confuse people. And a confused person doesn't buy. We know that.
Okay.
And so you can get it from Fiverr. If you got, friends or families making websites, somebody can do that. So you get your website up. I use Shopify.
Okay.
That's my platform.
All right.
I love Shopify. So I'm going to suggest that to everybody. So once you get your website up, got it up on Shopify, up and running, I market through Instagram and use social media for marketing, and pretty much that's the whole gist of the company. Now, I recommend e-commerce simply because over a brick and mortar and over selling it out my trunk or even setting up shop at people invite me all the time to pop-up shops because somebody from Great Britain can't buy my product from a brick and mortar in Chicago.
True.
I send packages to London all the time, Canada. So I can make a sale in Canada from somebody that's been on my website in 10 minutes as opposed to me spending 8 hours sitting at a brick and mortar.
Wow. Okay. So this allows you to essentially be everywhere, right?
Worldwide.
Worldwide. We worldwide.
We
When we
worldwide.
drop a bomb, we worldwide. That's
There's
what we're
women
gonna do.
everywhere. I don't want to
Absolutely.
just reach the women here.
Absolutely. Okay. So, all right, we talked about that. So Shopify, that's the method that you use. So now let's talk a little bit about the actual product that you got. You got the box here. Okay.
A lot of nice
Recording
goodies.
in progress.
Okay, so I'm gonna just hold my box up this way. I don't know if y'all
There we
can
go.
see that. And what we have in here, of course, you get your congratulations statement telling you everything you have in your box. You get now this is my number one seller right here. This is my number one seller. This is the V-Honey Vaginal Tightening Gel. Okay, because we like to keep it tight. We want to keep it tight, y'all. So this is the tightening gel. I call it V-Honey. It is not honey. I know that's confusing for people.
Okay.
Because they like, you're going to get ants in your pants. I'm like, it's not honey. I call it that because it looks like honey. This is what the applicator looks like.
Okay.
But it's just, it's an organic gel. I mean, literally 100% all natural. This is plant-based. So I call it a plant-based vagina.
Okay. So so this is and which one is this again?
This is the vaginal tightening gel.
So that's the
V-Honey
tightening gel.
tightening.
Okay. So if you're complaining about, hey man, loosey goosey, you know, this gonna give a little more grip, a little less lip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or maybe both. I don't know. Like it just.
Hey.
Okay. So you got that there, and then and what's the injection there, right?
That's this. So
Okay.
the
Oh,
gel,
it
this
comes
is what
like that.
looks
Got you. Okay.
Because it's an applicator. So, you know, you would actually put this inside of you. It's a gel that actually goes inside of you.
And that's edible or something? Or?
No, this is not edible.
Okay.
You don't want to eat this. And actually, you want to wait 12 to 24 hours before activity. So this is something you will do when you know you want to get some, you know.
Okay.
Happy coming home, boyfriend coming home through for the weekend, whatever the case may be. So that's that, my number one seller. We also have, of course, my wash. This is my V-Cleanse Intimate Wash. It's antibacterial. This is also a huge seller, and this is my product. I came up with this, every single ingredient in here. Wow. You can see I've been using it, but not personally.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's cool. Hey,
it's a foam wash.
No judgment.
So,
it's your stuff.
yeah, it's a foam wash. Smells good. Like, I'm telling you, when you talking fresh all day, that's fresh all day.
Okay.
Smell that. That smells fresh.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty fresh. Okay.
Better than the jab.
Better than the jab.
Better than the jab.
So that's that one. Now, you said edible. I do have 100% plant-based edible lube. This is the peach
edible
flavor.
lube.
Yes. So this is lubricant. This is safe. It's water-based. It's plant-based. This one you can eat. So you can do all types of fun stuff with that.
Okay.
So that's a safe lube. We want to use lubes when we're doing the do because that helps.
Now, okay, so you got the lube, you got the tightener, you got like
the soap,
that's the soap, wash. That's the wash. And then you said the lube is that's the edible.
You can eat this one, nice and sweet. This is sweet peach, as you can see.
Sweet peach.
And I also have strawberry.
Okay. Okay. Now, what's your like? I'll let you keep going. What else you got in the box? I'll let you keep going before.
Other items because we talked about infections, right?
Okay.
And so that's what my yoni palms are for. These guys right here, this fights. If you have an infection, this you insert inside the vagina, and this will fight yeast, bacterial vaginosis, so bacterial infections. If you're in between partners, you know, nice little detox. If you just, you know, working out, you want to stay fresh because you work out 3-4 times a week, just, you know, fights odors, infections, itching, irritation, whatever you got going on down there, you use your yoni palms, and I promise you, it'll be good. Especially good for women who have multiple partners to use that in between time.
It's like a whole pill.
If that's, I mean, I would.
Okay. There you go. So if you're gonna be out here in the streets,
but you might have a partner too. And personally, I don't see, if you single, ain't nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
With that, you know?
The more the merrier. Especially when you got the pills.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
But you gotta pop the pill.
I promise you, women swear by these though. They swear by them. So I mean, I sell out of those.
Okay.
And then I got a couple more, but this one I'm gonna talk about. I ain't gotta really talk about the other ones.
Okay.
This is a test strip to test your vaginal pH because you want to maintain your pH. Okay, your pH should be balanced. It shouldn't be off. If it's off, that's a problem. So this lets you know, is your pH off, and if it is, we got some things you can do to fix it. And so that's those pH balance test strips.
Now, what's like what type of levels or should people be shooting for to keep their pH balance? Is it like a 1 through 10? Is it a color?
This gives you a color indicator with a sad face or a smiley face.
Okay,
so
let me see. I don't know if people can see that. Here, let me get this up here. Can y'all see? I might have to zoom in on that later.
Might have to zoom in.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, we got the smiley face.
But it's a sad face, a happy face, you know. And so a female's vagina is typically acidic.
Okay.
Right. So the pH is between 3.85 and 4.5. It does, if it goes higher than that or lower than that, then we have some type of an offset, potentially an infection. Not always, but most of the time.
Okay. So, all right, let's back up a little bit. So, like, what? So we got the treasure box. Is the treasure chest? I don't want.
This is the chest because it comes in more things.
Okay, so we got the chest here. Okay, and this is available on
thevdoctor.com.
thevdoctor.com.
That's right.
All right, so go ahead. Make sure you guys tap in and get the chest. Okay, we got Sweetest Day coming up. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you get the pH balances on point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you check your oil, you see where you at, and you want to be in good standing. We got the wash for you, and we got the lube too, right? So it's any body cavity of your choice. Would you say?
Absolutely.
Okay. It can. So if you
absolutely
any body cavity of your choice, it should work and provide you with that which you desire. So. That's cool. So talk to us. So give us just like a quick rundown, right? So for women watching, right? Maybe like the top 5, like maybe facts or things that they could be doing to optimize the box. Okay, so we know they gonna need to get in tune with this.
Okay.
But maybe even before they get this, or after this, or even in between this, what are like 5 things that women should be doing in general just to maintain the vajayjay?
Absolutely. So one thing I always say is tight clothing. We know we like to look sexy and have those tight clothes and tight jeans and things like that. But we also know that can offset your pH balance, give you an infection. So you want to be mindful of wearing tight clothes.
Okay.
You know, if you do have them on, that's not something you can be wearing all day, all the time, every day.
Okay.
You know, maybe a weekend outfit. Obviously, diet is huge.
Okay.
Right? You know, I tell people all the time, you know, even it's weird, like for women who drink a lot of beer, eat a lot of bread, that's yeast. So you're more of a risk for yeast infection.
Okay.
So you want to watch your diet. You don't want to be drinking a whole lot of sodas and things like that because that's sugar. Yeast loves sugar. So watch your diet, you know. We all know too, like pineapples, some things you can eat to make it nice and sweeter. Yes, pineapples is one of them. Watermelon is also another thing. So diet's important. And let me see, some other things I tell people is taking probiotics, which actually though, you said not items that I sell, but I do have probiotics.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
If you are familiar with probiotics, you want to make sure that you're consuming those on a daily basis. That's also going to keep your vaginal flora nice and healthy.
Okay.
So those, you know, a couple things you can do at home and of course, you know, cleanliness. It's next to godliness. So you want to make sure you're washing that thing, okay?
Absolutely. Now, when you say washing this thing, they can't just be used like no dial soap. They need to be right.
Right. We're not using, you know, those soaps with fragrances, even clothing detergents that you're washing your underwear in, things like that. You want to be mindful. So I tell people all the time, look, I recommend Commando. It's nice and airy. It can breathe. But if you're gonna wear underwear, make sure that the crouch is cotton and white. You know what I mean? If you don't have that, you can wear a panty liner to provide some protection, but make sure you change that panty liner every 4 to 6 hours. So, so when it comes to underwear, you know, again, you don't want to be in a G-string or a thong all day long. It just increases your risk.
Gotcha. So, man, gave a lot there, right? So you got a lot of different ways. So the tight clothing, you want to let it breathe, the different soaps that you're using, the diet, what you're eating, all of that stuff can play a part into the JJ performance, right? Or maintenance. I guess I'll say that. Everything, right? You know, this overall health there. So talk to me a little bit about money, all right? So get into the bag, okay? So you, so right now, are you still Are you still acting physician right now, or are you doing this like full time?
I am currently V doctor full time.
Okay, gotcha. So
I have not worked since. I haven't worked full time since March of this year.
Wow. Okay. So since March, you've been doing the V doctor. That's dope.
Yeah.
So so talk to me a little bit about money, like getting to like the bag, like what that looks like. And a lot of people may be like, oh, okay, I could do a product or whatever, but is it really lucrative? Can I change my lifestyle, like, you know, with these products? So would you say, and I'll just say this right now. So you've been doing this since March. So has this placed you replaced your income, what you were making as a physician?
I mean, legit. I'm gonna repeat. I've been doing this since March. Like, that's for a reason. Absolutely. You know, you don't quit your job until you replace your income.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's another thing MLM taught me.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Absolutely. I can say I have replaced my 6-figure income at my job with my 6-figure income with the V doctor.
With the V doctor. Okay, so let's get a little bit more granular, right? So talk to me, right? So like on a given month, right? Like what's the most the V doctor like the most you've ever made like in a month? Like
in 1 month?
Yeah, in 1 month.
January V doctor made over $200K.
What? Drop a bomb.
Drop a bomb.
Drop a bomb.
That was my biggest month. You know, we average 100 to 150K a month on average.
On average.
On average. Since
Average.
then. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So, by month 11, maybe I launched August 1st, June 26th, V doctor hit $1 million.
V doctor
So
hit $1 million.
another 11 months, we did $1 million.
$1 million in 11 months. Yo, that's I don't know if that gets you fired up. Hey, that hit me. What? $1 million?
$1 million.
I love it.
So is it lucrative? I don't know. You tell me.
Hell yeah. Shoot, I might get me a.
And what we do know with e-commerce is it's just growing. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's $1 trillion industry. It's gonna continue to grow. It's one of the biggest, fastest growing industries right now in the world.
Yeah.
Of course, with travel. So, yeah, if I had to, you know, always, if you got to get the piece of any pie, it's like $1 trillion pie. I just want to lick the frosting, and I promise I'm good.
Lick the frosting.
Lick the frosting.
$200K a month. Just lick the frosting. That's what I'm talking. I'm finna be the D doctor in a minute.
Hey.
Just be up here in a minute. D doctor coming soon.
The D doctor.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I'm launching the man box.
Okay, the man box.
The
Look
man
at that.
box. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's coming. Because men are half the reasons for our problems.
Wow.
So we need to get y'all in the water. Because, you know, some of these infections ain't just all us.
Okay, so it's our fault too. So like,
Absolutely.
okay, so talk to me. Wait. I'm gonna hold that real quick. I'm gonna go before I go forward. I want to go back to this, man. You hit me with $1 million, 11 months, $200K in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, these are not humble numbers. People like work day for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be able to grow something like that, for you to be able to do something like that in a short amount of time, I think that's phenomenal, right? Okay. So now let's go a little bit into like, how do you get there? How do you do that? So now I see you here, right? Mm-hmm. Now, but who do you have a team that kind of helps you with this? Like how can somebody scale to get to, you know, $1 million in 11 months? Like what does that process look like? Your support system, your team, what types of things do you have in place that allow you to hit numbers like that? Right.
So the very first month of launching, because I decided to do this last year in May. So I spent May, June, July connecting with those people, building the website, getting my Shopify together, you know, on Fiverr with my labels and, you know, my brandings, my color scheme, everything. I spent 3 months doing that. And when I tell you, up all night and day to the point where my family and friends thought I was crazy, like, girl, you gotta sleep. And I'm like, no, I wanna launch August 1st. Like, I gave myself a deadline. So everything for that 3 months was all V Doctor. So I launched August 1st, And honestly, those first couple of months, I did it all by myself. Like, I ran that business by myself. I was the manufacturer, I was customer service, I was the, ordering the supplies, I was putting the orders together, I was shipping and delivery, I was everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
But the first month, I made over 20,000.
Dang, first month launching?
First month. The first month. So, I knew quickly, like, okay, you ain't gonna be able to do all this by yourself.
Yeah, so wait a minute. Okay, so break down a couple things, right? So first month you made 20K.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how did you find like this audience of, like, let's say if I'm watching this and I'm like, yo man, I want to be like the V Doctor. I may or may not have a big follow. Like, what are some of the things that you did, like, to be able to find people to, pay you $20,000 for your product?
Well, the people is the general public. Is the people that I'm talking to. And where are they? They're everywhere. They're all over social media. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're on TikTok. They're everywhere. And honestly, I didn't go looking for people. I went looking for people that was looking for me. So it was already people out there wanting my products. I just said, here they are.
Here they are.
Here they are. And so I think that was the key to my success. Not only, like I said, I had the background in MLM, so I was ready. Yeah, you was ready. I had the mindset. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's key.
So that's 100% half the battle, because there's people, my friends that I'm encouraging to do this after me, they're not finding the exact same success that I did, simply because, they got to get this part in order. They got to get that part in order first. So read your books. Read the books.
So, any book recommendations that you have?
What I know, one of my favorite books, this is gonna be crazy. It was like The Color of People. Okay. Because I'm in sales, and so when you learn people and learn how to talk to people and what they want and their needs, like it's the whole you can sell anything to anybody. You know what I mean? So once you really learn people and how they think, we all really kind of fit into 4 categories and kind of think the same way. So it's funny because when I'm talking to somebody, I'm already categorizing them. Yeah. And then I'm already choosing my words based on the type of person they're presenting to be towards me. Okay. So I know exactly what to say to them to make a sale. But that's all MLM. See?
Got you. Absolutely.
That was one of my favorite books because, I just really learned a lot about people. And this is a people business.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so you talked about so the book recommendation. So how the 20K, the first month starting out, that's when you knew you had something, okay? And then I know we kind of jumped around a little bit, but let's talk about, we'll go back to the man box, okay? Now, and you mentioned that men, we could be the reason why, the pH balance is a little bit off, it's a little tang, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so like what is it that men do that cause that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and how can I be proactive in my approach, to keeping the balances on point or whatever?
Right. Well, absolutely. First, I'll say that men are carriers. So some of the bacteria that cause problems and issues with us, you won't have those same problems. So like bacterial vaginosis, the name itself says vaginosis. So you have to have a vagina in order for this bacteria to even cause you any issues. Okay. So if you got this bacteria on your penis, you can, transfer it to us and be like, I don't know what's going on. And that could have been something you got from another girl. So if you got multiple sex partners, now everybody's getting BV, but nobody, And it's crazy because BV is not necessarily pegged as an STD. We don't necessarily call it that in the medical field, but it is. Okay. It really, truly is. So, and man is one of those things. So if you got multiple sex partners, make sure you're washing in between, you're wearing protection or condoms, things like that, or just don't do it at all.
Just don't do it at all. Okay. Now, when you say washing, like, what type of soap should I be using? Okay, is it not out there yet? Is it gonna be in the ball box?
It's gonna be in the man box. It's gonna be in the man box. Hey, but that's what it's funny because you said because my tagline is balls are important too.
Balls are important too.
The man box, okay? Because balls are important too.
Yeah. Balls are. Let's give a round of applause for the balls. Pause.
Balls, pause. Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to have a ball wash for y'all.
A ball wash.
And it's an antibacterial wash.
Okay.
Yes, and it's safe to use. And that's another thing, y'all. If y'all using all these soaps and fragrances and things like that, and now we have sensitivities to those products you're using to wash up with, that can still cause issues, inflammation, itching, irritation to the vagina. You know what I mean? And so, and also, semen. You know, semen is alkalinic. The vagina is acidic.
Okay.
So some women's bodies just don't match with some men's semen, and so it's like your body will tell you if you're supposed to be with him or not.
Wow. So just by the semen, like by the soldiers who enter in, that could be. Okay. Now I got a question. Now, how can I alter like my semen, like my soldiers? How can I make them be as healthy as can be, like, or as, you know, whatever they need to be? Like, so you mentioned that the semen is more alkaline, right? Yes. Do I need to drink alkaline water?
No, I mean, alkaline water is good for everybody, but I wouldn't say that. I mean that if the vagina is acidic and semen is alkaline, it's not anything that you're doing wrong necessarily, but it can just, sex can offset the pH balance. So that's why it's important for women after sex to get up, go to the bathroom, urinate, wipe up. Don't just sit there and let it marinate, because that can cause some issues. And it was something else that just slipped my mind, just that quick, but it'll come back. Oh, some people just can't have ejaculatory sex. They just, you know,
like what?
Can't.
Like, if somebody ejaculates, like it's gonna mess something up, or they just can't.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if you are a person and you got a partner, and you're like, every time we have sex, I get BV. Like, every time.
Wow. Okay.
And you've already gone through everything. You know, you've sometimes you even test the man's semen to see is the bacteria in there. But if you've gone through all the precautions, everything your doctor's telling you to do, and you're just still getting BV with every sexual encounter, it could just be that you have a sensitivity to his semen. You legit have an allergic response to his semen.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's a sign that y'all shouldn't be together.
If you ask me, or just you can't have ejaculatory sex. Use a condom or pull out.
Right.
It ain't gonna work. You can give her an infection.
So if you're in a relationship right now, and every time you have intercourse, and somebody got to go to the doctor, that the balances is off, you probably just need to reconsider that relationship.
Yeah, or stop cheating.
Stop cheating. You know, like, or you need to double up on what's those little the pills there, like the little the yoni palms. You gonna need to keep them on deck. But okay, so that's awesome, good information there. So we talked about a lot, right? We talked about kind of how the brand was born. We talked about a little bit about the journey. Okay. We talked a little bit about the money piece, y'all. Man, $200,000 in January, completely replacing her income. You know, like this thing is 11 months, you know, hitting the millionaire mark. And then, I think we touched on a little bit, but your team, right? So you mentioned it started off just being you initially, but what does your team look like now? Like who do you have supporting you kind of behind the scenes? What type of positions did you hire? When did you know when to hire? If you hire many folks at all? Like what does that process look like?
Absolutely. My family's helping me.
Okay.
You know, awesome. Thank God for a big family. Mm-hmm. And family don't work all the time for everybody. And in business, they'll suggest to you not to do it with your family. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the way my heart is set up, I did it with my family. So my sister, she's operating as my manager. And I got my cousin working, my niece, my sister's friend, you know, my nephew. So it's a bunch of us. Yeah. And so they do all the packaging and the shipping and the labels. And they do all of that good stuff back and forth to the post office and UPS and ordering the supplies. And so I'm, for the most part, just running the IG page. Awesome.
Well, nice to meet you, cuz. I just want to say, hey, cousin. You know, sure, cuz. You know, if you need anything. But no, like that's dope, because a lot of people, even watching this, right? Like, we know in everyone's business, you are going to need a team at some point, right? And being able to find that team, you know, rely on those people. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it is external. Some people do have different experiences working with family, but that's dope that you were able to lean on family and, build a like $1 million brand, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's super dope. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about you, right? So
talking about me.
yeah, right. So we got the products, the doctor, the brand. We built that. You got the team. What's it like building, something like this, right? Like, what type of toll does this take? And I say that because, one, I know a lot of people who have, built different things, right? They're entrepreneurs. They worked, the 9 to 5. And specifically, I'll ask this: how has this helped or hindered maybe your own relationships? Are you able to date because you are the V doctor? You got the big brand. You out here in the streets. You killing it. What is like dating or other relationships like when you are an entrepreneur running something big like this?
That's a good question, because clearly that's very difficult to do. I can see why. I think B. Simone said she could never date someone working a 9 to 5. And she caught a lot of slack for that. But I get it. Yeah. I get it, because unless you're, there's someone that understands the time that it takes for you to build a company, work your company, be an entrepreneur. If they're not into entrepreneurship, they're not gonna.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a whole different ball game. I mean, I go literally from working, a 9 to 5 or 12 hours a day, 3-4 times a week, to working 24 hours, 7 days a week. So dating life for me is like,
it's okay.
Secondary, tertiary.
It's tertiary, okay? So gentlemen, I don't know if that was a shoot your shot or not. That's up to you. However you decide to proceed. But she's about her business. So, and you probably need to be about your business too, if you stand a chance. So that's cool. Working a lot, navigating that as well. Now, what else do you have like your hands in? Now, we spoke, man, and you dropped the bomb on me. She dropped this bomb on me. I wish I didn't hear it at first, because I wanted the initial shock value. But just tell me a little bit tell us about some of the things that you have your hands in.
Absolutely. So, well, you know what? I just bought this, so that's my little thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, honey. So, I was Miss Illinois 2019. So before the pandemic hit, the year before the pandemic hit, I ran for Miss Illinois, and I competed in the Miss America pageant, which was awesome. So I didn't bring my crown and sash with me. I should have.
That's dope.
I definitely would have put that on, but so it was it was really fun being Miss America. Well, I didn't win Miss America, but look, y'all, I came in the top 5.
Okay, then we go top 5.
Top 5?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So that was awesome. The question floored me, and that's what it was. But
wait. So all right, y'all. So what was the question? Like, what was the question? You didn't want to recycle or save the whales? Like what? Like what's the question tell me the question.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the question, but this time I'm gonna do it. I gotta play it like this, because. So, I need you to imagine. I'm gonna have you answer this question. You got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Right? You don't know what your question is. You're pulling from a bowl. Okay. Literally, lights, camera, actions. You're on the stage, center stage, with the previous Miss America and the host. You got all the cameras there. You got all the people in the audience.
Okay.
Right? We imagining all of this.
I'm here. I see them. I'm fixing my crown. I'm ready. Let's go.
30 seconds. Now, the question was.
Okay.
Name a time that you turned a negative into a positive.
Name a time that I turned a negative into a positive. Well, I look back to when the first time I got my heart broke. I was, new to the workplace, not long out of college, and it was a very depressing moment for me. Okay, a very depressing moment. It was probably one of the lowest points of my life, but I took that pain, that hurt, that heartbreak, and I turned it into motivation, and I started my first business, and I used that as fuel, okay, to help impact others' lives who also felt heartbroken, so that way they could take that pain. Okay, I had nothing. I had nothing. Yeah, I was fishing, but go ahead. Yeah. So,
man.
So what did you say? What was your response?
first of all, look, you already got points off because you repeated the question. That's a no-no in pageantry. We cannot do that. We know you're thinking. You gotta be able to go bam, bam on your feet. So I already knew I couldn't repeat the question.
Dang.
The stuff that goes through on your mind, though, I didn't even really. I thought my 30 seconds was up. I thought I had thought about it for 30 seconds because it was so quick. Because I wanted to give them. I wanted to say, oh, I was born on the 79th, on the 9th, the wars in Chicago. Right. I'm like, they ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for them drug wars. So then I thought, well, I went to med school and got pregnant my first year. And I'm like, here you go, token black girl, just get pregnant while you in school. Like, oh, I can't say that. Literally, all this went through my head.
Right.
So I took a safe route. I was like, oh, I failed a whole bunch of tests in med school. I had to redo a year, and everybody was telling me, just quit, drop out. School was hard, and I came back with a vengeance. I studied real hard, and I passed all my tests with flying colors, and I graduated med school.
Right.
Yeah. No, that wasn't good enough.
That wasn't good enough.
They want to cry. They want tears because they want to be moved. I was like, dang, I should have went with the baby story or the drug story. I should have.
Yeah, like the drug story. Like people like that kind of.
Like that.
Yeah.
Trying to play it safe. That's what I get.
So, what was the story that really wowed them? Like, what was? Do you remember? Did you get to hear anybody else's story or like?
Well, the thing is, everybody had a different question.
Oh, gotcha.
And so my question, honestly, which is crazy, was relatively easy. Okay. And it made me mad because all the questions that I studied, I was ready for the hard stuff. Right. And you hit me with this little stupid easy question, and the first thing I thought was, that's a math question, a negative into a positive. I turned a negative into a positive. Right. Yeah, it was one of those. Okay. Overthought it. But I mean, it happens to us though. But I think that's still dope, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That you see, look at this. So, man, the first time ever on the Corporatepreneur podcast, man, we got someone. We have a Miss Illinois, 2019 participant. I guess I'll say, we got a Miss America participant. So that's dope. You're the first one we're gonna drop a bomb. We're gonna clap for that one too. First time, blessing the mic here on the show. So wow, okay. So, Miss America, do you have any other tricks up your sleeve? Right, this is the opportunity for people to really get to know the V Doctor. You know what I'm saying? So we talked a little. Yeah, we got the brand and stuff. We got that down pat. You know what I'm saying? You got Miss America. You know what I'm saying? Up on this. Is there anything else? I ask you this question, okay? What's one interesting fact, okay, that people won't know about you, okay? Just about first impression or something like that. If you had to give an icebreaker at an event or a pageant or something, what would you tell people about you? So we already know about, and maybe it's kind of not fair because we already know about the products. You know what I'm saying? We know you got that going. I know you did Miss America. Do you have anything else up your sleeve, an icebreaker, if you will?
Well, it's two interesting facts for me about my life that I would say. One is that I'm a single mother of a 12-year-old with autism.
Okay.
So that's a challenge within itself because with everything that I have going on, being single mommy is hard, and then you have a special needs child that requires twice as much attention as your normal child, and then so people go, how do you do that? Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, my baby is fantastic. I feel like we the weird ones. Yeah. He good. He probably looking what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yes, I mean he's been my number one blessing. That is my motivation beyond anything for everything that I've ever done. It is absolutely my son. So the V Doctor was inspired by him. Pageantry was inspired by him. My whole existence right now at this moment is because of him. So my why is big. So work on your why because he is my why for sure. Awesome. And then another thing is, I'm one of 8. So a lot of people don't know I got 7 brothers and sisters.
It's 8
kids. I know, and I'm like, Mom, dang, you need these.
Right. Yeah.
8 kids, Mom, why would you do that to yourself? But, I mean, who wants to be pregnant for 8 years? And we're literally back to back to back to back. Okay. But I love my brothers and sisters. They my best friends.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's the interesting fact about me is a big family, this great big old family. We need a TV show. We crazy.
Well, it's coming. Yeah, this is, you know.
Oh, man, in real life. I don't mean to call y'all out, but y'all know.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with that being said, you guys, we're going to get ready and wrap this thing up, man. The V Doctor here, LaTanya Morris, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show, giving you a round of applause, your flowers here. Appreciate hearing your story and just kind of giving some of the behind the scenes, right? Some of the games, some of the things that you experienced along this journey. Mm-hmm. I do have one more before I close out, right? Like, this is one thing. I know I'm kind of going back here, but talk to me a little bit about, I just thought about this right now. I want to talk to me a little bit more about the challenges that you face, right? Like maybe starting this thing up, building this thing out. I know you talked about the mindset that was necessary, and you kind of got that from MLM. But outside of like the mindset piece, maybe what are some of the other challenges that you had to overcome in order to get V Doctor to where it is today?
Well, let's see. About challenges are we talking about? Because it was a whirlwind of stuff. I can just start with something as simple as I suffered from depression during the time.
Let's go. This is important. Yeah.
Yeah, and so some days I did not want to get out of bed. And so I tell people all the time, look, we just gonna go through stuff in life. It's inevitable. It's no time to ever do anything. Right now is always the right time because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. So I say that to say, when I was going through that, I just made a decision because everything you do in life literally has to be a decision. So I decided to do it depressed. I decided to do it tired. I decided to do it alone. I decided to do it afraid. I decided to do it, just in the midst of everything going on in my life. I just made a decision and I decided to do it. So make a decision, whatever you're going through, decide and just do it through that. And that's what I did.
Awesome. And there are a lot of people who are probably watching this. Hell, even myself, we deal with depression, anxiety, especially within our community. It's almost a taboo topic, right? A lot of people, hey, you okay? Go shake it or go pray it off. Go to church. Go, you know what I'm saying? Or you may just get the other extreme, man, where you just get the medication, right? But how do you truly deal with this thing? And I'll ask you, so like maybe you can help somebody along their journey as well. What was maybe like a coping mechanism or something that you did to help you with like depression? Like what was an outlet for you?
I'll tell you what, I love me some music. Okay. So Mary J, that's my fave. Her one song, My Life, literally got me through med school. I promise. Anytime I felt any certain type of way, you find that one thing that kind of lifts your spirits. I played that song all the time. I be dancing in the mirror. That song come on, it don't matter what I'm going through. But My Life's Just Fine, it's like, okay. So, you just find your one thing that you absolutely love. I still go sit in my car to this day and play that record when I just need to get away and decompress. I'm going to my car. I'm gonna play my music. I'm gonna get me some good food. I like ice cream. And then that's my me time. So get you some me time. Don't be afraid to decompress and just, space out. I get a hotel room sometimes. Turn the phone off. Like, this is just about me. So give yourself that grace. You deserve it. You work hard.
I like that. Absolutely. I like that. Some me time. Give yourself some grace. Go listen to Mary J. Blige too.
Yeah, Mary, because she's been through some things.
She's been through some things, right? The doctor ordered. Okay, this is doctor's orders here. Okay, music therapy. Yes. So thank you for sharing that. And then now, I'm for real. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up now. So you are now listening to the Corporatepreneur Podcast, and we have LaTanya Morris here, the V Doctor. Thank you for coming to bless the mic today.
Absolutely.
I appreciate all that you've shared with us, giving us a peek behind the curtain of the business, allowing us to get to know you, and hopefully inspiring others who are, corporatepreneurs as well, right? Whether you're still working at that 9 to 5 and you want to start a business on the side, or you ready to flat out fire your boss and replace your income, okay? Like, I hope you got inspired by hearing her story today. Hope you learned about the box, okay? The vajayjay, the WAP, right? Whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Like, learned about that a little bit. And fellas, right, man, we got to get our balls in check, okay? We can't be out here contaminating the WAP, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the BV, all of that good stuff. So we talked about a lot today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay? And not only to me, the corporatepreneur at Instagram, but also corporatepreneur TV on YouTube. And certainly we cannot forget about the V Doctor. So I want you to go ahead and follow the V Doctor on Instagram. So it's the_V_Doctor, right?
Right.
There we go. So the_V_Doctor on Instagram. And you can go ahead and hit that link in the bio and go ahead and get you the chest. Okay, so we reviewed the chest. You got the lube in there. You got the
wash,
the tightening gel.
Test strips.
Test strips.
Yoni palms, baby.
In the yoni palms, right? If you know you're gonna put a lot of miles on it, you gotta get the yoni palms. You gotta get the yoni palms, right? So
let's give them a discount code.
Oh, we gonna hit them with a discount code. The discount. Okay, so what we got for the discount code?
Let's go WAP 15.
Ooh, WAP 15.
So WAP 15.
WAP 15. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make sure I put that in the description with the video. So when you guys see this episode, you guys will know the discount code that you can type in, so that way you can get 15%. Ooh, percent. There you go. 15% off on whatever you want. So anything you want to say in closing, Doc? Anything?
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me here. It's been an honor. It's been a blast. This is exactly what I desire to do, educate people. So I'm glad y'all tuned in with your girl. And, thank you.
Awesome. With that being said, y'all, thank you for tuning in to the Corporatepreneur Podcast. And until next time, this is your boy JT, the Corporatepreneur, with the V Doctor Latanya Morris. We signing out. Peace and love.